Welcome to Coach's Corner, everybody. Thanks for watching the show. I'm your host, Coach Tripp, along with my co-host on Local Sports Report Thursday nights, Coach Mark Hobley, Coach Hobbs.
All right.
Here in the house, long time, both of us teachers, coaches, and with a longtime teacher and coach, head football coach for Catholic High School, Matt Adams. Coach, thanks for joining the show, buddy.
Yeah, Coach, appreciate you having me.
Man, we coached 8 years together. When did you start? 2004? When did you start coaching?
I started in 2005, January.
Oh, my first year too.
Yep.
Both of us first year. You got a lot more. You got a lot more to go. Let's talk about your team. Talk a little bit about the year and how it's going. How some guys stepped up. I got to start out with Nigel Nelson last week. 350 yards, Coach. 5 touchdowns. He's also one of the leaders in interceptions in the league. Talk about that dynamic and talk about how he's grown.
You know, we've had a good year so far. 7-2. Got to be happy with that. We've had a lot of injuries throughout the year at all positions. To be honest with you, you got to have a little luck in football to stay healthy. And early on it's been a little rough on us, but we've had guys step up. Each and every week seems like somebody different. CJ Nettles has been great for us the last few years, and sprained an ankle a few weeks ago, and just re-aggravated it. And Nigel stepped in, and he's got some carries all year long, but had to take a major role last week and just did a great job for us.
Coach, let's talk about position changes and two-way players, and how many guys do you have playing both ways? And talk about the challenges of handling the mental strain and physical pounding of playing both ways.
It's tough. We try and not have as many guys, or if any, play both ways early on in the year when it's so hot, just because cramps. You end up playing them both ways, and by the end of the third quarter, you've got a lot of cramping issues. So, but now that it's cooled off, we've increased the load on some of the guys. Some of them are going both ways. Some of them full time, probably 2 of them, somewhat full time. But now also a handful that do spell guys on both sides of the ball. So, I think you've got to be careful how you do it. Like I said, we don't do it till late in the year, although they've been getting reps throughout the year, so it's not new. We probably started week 4 working guys on both sides of the ball, kind of, to make sure we're ready as we get late in the season. But it's tough, and with us, our practice really changes at this point. Also, we're not near as long as we were early in the year. There's not as much install, but it's a tough mental spot for these guys to play both ways for sure.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the kicking game, and they call them special teams for a reason, right, Coach?
They do.
Come on, Cat High, especially you got to be close to this kicking game. Number one, your dad kicked at Vanderbilt, so you've got kicking, in your ear how important special teams is. Number 2. One of the best special teams guy on the planet, All-Pro Jeremy Reeves, is from Catholic. Talk about how special teams can be, especially in playoff games. Remember how many we've won and lost? I remember, a lot of playoffs. We went to the playoffs every year. We were there, and we won a few and lost a few by the kicking game.
Yeah, they're a big part, especially as you get in the postseason. Games are going to be won and lost by a matter of, 3 or 4 plays in some of these games, because this competition is going to be so evenly matched. And you don't want it to be I'd love to be won on special teams on our end, but you also don't want to be lost on special teams. So, a kickoff return, a block punt, a missed field goal or made field goal. I mean, that's a big deal coming into the games that we'll be playing soon, because like I said, competition is going to be so tight, and 3 points, 1 point here and there is a big swing. And momentum wise, you have big special teams play, that hurts badly. But back to my dad, he actually works with our kickers. He's out and works with them, so that's a great asset to them.
Yeah, Coach Parcells called him one of his best kickers he ever had. He called your dad at one time. Absolutely. Yeah, Jeremy Reeves, you got to be proud of him. Have you talked to JR recently, and how does surgery come out?
I haven't talked to him. I've tried to reach out to him. I know he's busy, but I hadn't talked to him since the surgery. But I did call to check on him. From what I hear, everything's going well. But another great guy. He's always there to bend an ear, and I appreciate that very much.
All right, I'll give you. I'll remind you of a time when we won a playoff game over in Jacksonville when Mike Neal blocked that one. Remember when he blocked that field goal, chippy shot field goal?
Yeah, that is one memory I will never forget. I was actually talking with Coach Seibert about that actual game last night. It was kind of funny to bring that up. We got one on the last second. We blocked a chip shot field goal late in the game, beat Jacksonville.
Thank God he called timeout, because I noticed on film that the wing stepped out. So I told Mikey, go through that gap. He almost overran it. The ball kicked him in the stomach, and the foot kicked him in the chin. He knocked the tooth out. And Coach Seibert found it in the laundry, doing the laundry later on.
Yes, he did.
Gave it to him at the banquet. He was knocked out, and he came. And the place was going crazy. It was the last play of the game. Our sideline was running on the field, and Mikey was still out. And then he came to, and he shook us off and ran to the guys. I'll never forget it, man. Like a storybook. All right, so let's talk about what you guys are doing to get better throughout the year. What have you improved on, and what are you guys still working on that you need to clean up? Offensively, defensively, special teams.
I thought last week, I guess it started kind of offensively on that end. We had a lot of turnovers early on in the year that either kept the games close or lost some games due to them. And did a good job last week. I don't believe that we had any turnovers. And that's a big part. And penalties wise, also we've really cleaned up our game on that side. So, when you're playing good defense and you're not turning the ball over, and not shooting yourselves in the foot with penalties, that's the recipe you want offensively. And defensively, just credit to Coach McDowell and the defensive staff. They work every single day on ripping the ball out, punching the ball out, creating turnovers. And showed last week, I think we had four forced turnovers in the first half last week. And that's where the guys getting their hands, on balls and pulling them out. So we had 2 picks and 2 forced fumbles. So really just kind of really got to win the turnover battle every week. When it comes to scheme stuff, at this point in time, your schemes are in. You're just trying to, clean up what you're doing. But, always trying to be perfect in every phase.
You answered my last question. That's exactly what's going on in the last part of the season. You're going in the playoffs. You want to play clean. You want to make sure, like you said, limit the turnovers, penalties, and mistakes. And that's what Coach Hobbs has a question for you.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Hey, I the first time I ran against this guy right here was on a baseball field playing for Coach Labonte out there. And if you don't think he's a tough competitor, he is extremely tough.
The whole family. All his brothers are.
Well, I get it. Coach, I just want to ask about the game tomorrow night. I look forward to being over there and watching your ball club play. The kid from Tallahassee, I guess, is he the quarterback that's supposed to be pretty good over there, or
yeah?
Give us your thoughts on tomorrow night.
St. John Paul's too.
Yeah, JP2 St. John Paul II out of Tallahassee, their quarterback, last name Hughes. He's a big part of their offense. He's I don't know. I hadn't looked at the stats, but probably he's their leading rusher and leading passer.
Yes,
so that's always a challenge when you got a guy like that at quarterback.
Yes.
All right, thanks, Matt. Hobbs is going to be there. I'm going to another game, so we can cover as many as we can. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy day. I appreciate it. Always once a Satyr, always a Satyr. Go Satyrs.
Hey, good luck in the playoffs, Coach.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Yes, sir.
See you, Coach. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Coach Matt Adams, head coach, Catholic High School. Got him winning again.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
indeed. Beautiful thing. All right, let's do high school wrap-up, or let's do high school preview of the games coming up. There's 9 local teams in action. It's the last week of the season, week 11. Next week, next Friday, the playoffs will start. Can't believe it. Seems like we're just sitting here. We're looking forward to the first game of the year. And we'll go over teams that are pretty much locked in the playoffs. There's only actually one on the fence. West Florida is sitting at number 12 in the region, I think. So the playoffs are pretty much set. Let's go over the games. HCA out of Jacksonville. I don't know who they are. At Pace. Pace is going to, I'm sure, win that game, and they're off to the playoffs.
Yes.
As maybe a home team in the first round. Don't know yet.
I think they're probably going in as a number 4 seed. Could be on the road, could be at home.
Okay. All right. Godby is at Milton. Milton's not in the playoffs. Is Godby?
No, Godby's not in the playoffs. I'll take Godby in that game.
All right. I'm going to take Godby and Pace, and I'm going to take Tate over Washington, which is a good play in the first City Bowl, downtown Blue Wahoo Stadium. I'll be there tomorrow night, 7, I think, kickoff at 7 o'clock. So that's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun to see a high school game down in Blue Wahoo Stadium.
Those kids will never forget that.
Never forget it. Everybody comes out and watches. PHS 0-9 at Escambia. Escambia is off to the playoffs again under Coach Mike Bennett. Gary Cower runs the defense. All those guys are friends, and they're off to the playoffs. So they're going to just tune things up and clean things up like Coach Adams wants to be done in the last game of the year. They'll be in the playoffs. And we talked a little bit about St. John Paul II heading over to Catholic. Hobbs going to that game.
Marketable Sports will be carrying that one tomorrow night.
Oh, good. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yes, Johnny Mays, Coach Dave Wilson, and Kevin Perkins.
That's right. I'll have it on marketablesports.live. Tune in. If you're in another game, I might even tune in watching that game myself and watch some of that. If you're at home and can't make it out, tune in, marketablesports.live, see Johnny Mays, and they do a great job with those. Coach Wilson and Perk.
Excellent.
Golf Breeze, and you actually did a game with them.
Yeah, I've done the last 3 games.
Last 3 games?
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed working with those guys.
I've been out on Friday. Golf Breeze at West Florida. Both teams are not going to be in the playoff hunt. They're both going to be home for Thanksgiving. Which you really don't want to be, but they're going to finish up strong. Hopefully at West Florida. I'm taking West Florida.
I like West Florida as well.
Northview, they're going to the playoffs. They're at Walton, undefeated Walton. I don't know if they're going to beat Walton, but it's a good measuring stick for Coach Wes Summerford up there north of the county. And Northview is going to go to the playoffs, and they'll probably meet Jay maybe after the second round. Who knows? They're going to be on the road.
Yeah, both of those teams will be on the road.
Okay. Blackshear at Jay. Tomorrow night, I'm taking Jay.
I'll go with Jay as well.
Okay. Navarre at Niceville. 2 powerhouses, 2 teams nobody likes to play. I didn't like to coach against them. It was a challenge. I probably lost more than I won against them, too. Navarre 7-2 at Niceville, 7-2. Dogfight, Niceville by a touchdown.
Niceville by less than 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think
Playoffs start next Friday.
Yes.
All right, Hobbs. Anything to add for high school?
Yeah, guys.
Hey,
had the World Series in last night. You have high school ending tomorrow night. Get out and see a ball game.
Hey, the leaders for the area. Battleander, Albertson, and Gulf Breeze leads the area 2,800 yards passing. Mikel Brock, Pine Forest, 1,400 yards rushing, leads the Pensacola area. Total tackles, Roan Maldonado, Gulf Breeze, 137. And the sack king, the sack leader, Jonathan Daniels, Pine Forest, 7.5 on the year. All right, the thief of the year. Picks, interceptions, Ladarian Clarity's got 4. Nigel Nelson has 4 each. Tyler Daniel Navarre is the leading field goal kicker in the area, making 7 out of 8 field goals. And congratulations to Jackson Clark at Tate for being the leader in punting at 38.2. So that wraps up high school. Let's dive into college. All right, we got our local national champion, not defending national champions, but from a couple of years ago, University of West Florida Argonauts. The Argo update, they're 6-3, 4-2 in the conference. They lost a close home game last week, 31-28 to Valdosta State. That one hurt.
Yeah, it sure did. If you had a chance to see that ball game, it came down to that last drive, and UWF had the ball with 31 seconds, and I just wish you would have threw the ball down the field for incompletion rather than try to run it out of bounds.
Argos travel to Mississippi College on Saturday for a 2 p.m. kickoff. They close the regular season next week at Chowan, 1 o'clock kickoff, but their Chowan's not very good. I think they're 0 for 9. Valdosta State at 5-1 is tied for first place in the Gulf South Conference with West Georgia and Delta State, 2 teams that UWF already beat. Wow. So if one of those falls, it looks like UWF holds the tiebreaker. Playoff consequences coming up here in Gulf South Conference. Stay tuned. Go Argos. All right, Hobbs, let's talk college football top 25. My favorite subject, my favorite topic. You got me last week, Hobbs. You beat me by 2 games. You went 8-7. I went 6-9. For the year, you're 65-70, 48%. I'm 75-60 at 56% against the spread. That's right. You got me in high school, Hobbs. You beat me in high school. I think I can't even catch you. Can I catch you in high school?
You might be able to catch you,
No,
but you're not going to pick different games just to catch me.
We're going to pick the favorites, right?
Yeah, we're going to pick the same games.
Oh, my gosh. All right. You get to pick last, so you get to pick the favorites. All right. So let's tackle college, man. Ohio State, there's 18 games on the slate that we're going to pick. Ohio State's number 1 in the country here in the college football playoff rankings. 18.5-point favorites at Rutgers, 11 o'clock on CBS. Hobbs, who do you like?
I'll take Ohio State. I'll hold my nose and take Ohio State.
All right. Georgia, number 2 now. 16.5-point favorites hosting number 12, Missouri, 2:30 primetime CBS game. I'm going to take Missouri to cover the 16.5.
I like that. I like Missouri too. I'll take those points.
All right, Michigan's rolling. They're scoring. Purdue's not doing much. They're hosting them at 6:30 on NBC. Michigan's just, I think they're the best team in the country. Personally, I'm taking Michigan.
Purdue's awful. Give them me the 32 points. I'll take
You'll
Purdue.
give them, yeah. You're taking Purdue?
I'm taking Purdue.
the points?
I'll take the 32 points.
Yeah, I know. I was a flip-flop of that one. And this one, FSU, every time I bet against them, they win. Every time I bet with them, they lose. 21.5-point favorites at Pitt, 2:30 on ESPN.
Pitt.
Points. Pitt trying to catch up to me. I'm taking FSU. Washington, 3.5, USC. USC's defense is terrible. They can score, but Washington, they can score a little more. I'm going Washington.
I like the Huskies as well.
6:30 on ABC. Oregon's just looking. Bo Nix is all over everybody. Washington's the only time they slipped. They looked really good last week. Cal can't get out of their own way. 23.5-point favorites. I'm giving them up and taking Oregon.
Bo.
You do like Bo Nix. Texas, Kansas State. This is an interesting game. Texas is only 4.5-point favorites. Hosting number 23 Kansas State, 11 o'clock on Fox. I'm going to pick the upset here. I'm going with Kansas State.
I'm holding my nose and laying the 4.5. I got Texas.
Alabama, I never pick against Alabama because I'm right 75% of the time if I don't. So I'm taking Alabama 3.5 over LSU. Never pick against Nick Saban or Coach Bear Bryant. Remember that, and you'll be okay. 14 LSU, 6:45 on CBS. That's going on my recorder.
Tigers. Give me the points. Give me the points. Give me the points.
He just like,
give me the points.
Carol, he just likes to do that. All right, Oklahoma. They are 5.5-point favorites at Oklahoma State, 2:30 ABC. I just can't get over South Alabama beating Oklahoma State by 4 touchdowns. I just don't know. I hope that Oklahoma State team shows up. Oklahoma by 2 touchdowns.
I have to take Oklahoma State. It's a rivalry. Maybe they'll show up.
Yeah, you're right. It is a rivalry, and it is at home. Rivalries do matter, and they do mean something when it's at home. Doesn't matter what the record is. I can attest to that. Story coming later. Ole Miss, number 10, 4.5-point favorites, hosting Texas A&M, 11 o'clock ESPN. I just, I don't know, man. Texas A&M, these are both teams that pretty inconsistent. Ole Miss can score, but I think Jimbo's got a defense for Ole Miss, and Ole Miss can't run the ball. So I'm going to take Texas A&M in an upset.
I like A&M as well. Who's Ole Miss? Lay 4 points to anybody. Who are they?
They're not a top 10 team. Come on, man. There's only 8 or 9. And while we're on the subject, there's only 8 or 9 teams that could win it. Hobbs thinks there's maybe 2 or 3.
Exactly.
All right. Let's go Penn State. I'm picking them over Maryland. They got beat last week. Get a little revenge. Maryland played horrible. They're trending down. 2:30 on Fox. I'm going to take Penn State to cover the 11.5.
I'm going to take the points here. I've been betting Maryland all year. They've been disappointing, but I'll
stay disappointed.
I'll stay disappointed.
All right. Louisville, number 13 in the country, played really well last week. Just whooped the heck out of Duke, man. It was not a bad team. Virginia Tech's even playing better. They're Louisville's 9.5-point favorite, 2:30 on the ACC network. I'm taking Louisville.
Who is Louisville?
All right, there we go. Hobbs is definitely trying to catch up all in 1 week.
Yes,
We still got 4 weeks left, Hobbs.
I don't care. Who's Louisville?
Notre Dame. They're 2.5-point favorites at Clemson, 11 ABC. Who is Clemson? That's my question. They're 4-4. They're not the Clemson of old.
Exactly. And
Notre Dame's even better than they've been. So I got Notre Dame. Take Clemson.
I'm taking Clemson. I'm taking Clemson.
That's my lock of the week. All right, Oregon State, 6-2, 13.5-point favorites at Colorado. The late game on ESPN Saturday night. I don't know if I'll still be awake. Maybe. At Colorado. I'm taking Colorado.
Yeah, we'll ride with Prime.
Yeah, we got to ride with Prime. Tennessee, 34-point favorites, hosting UConn, 11 o'clock on the SEC. UConn's, they're bad, but they don't get blown out much. Tennessee's pretty good, but they don't blow out teams much. I'm taking UConn.
I'll ride. I'll go over there with you.
Okay.
I'll take the points.
Utah, 10.5 at Arizona State. Arizona State's up and down a little bit. Utah's schedule has been so tough. They're 6-2. They don't want to lose another one. They might still be in the race for conference division title. 1 o'clock. I'm going Utah.
I do have to catch it. Give me the Sun Devils.
Yep, you do have to catch me. You might be going backwards. UCLA, -2.5 at Arizona, 9:30 on FS1. You never know what UCLA team's going to show up. The defense isn't that good. Chip Kelly can score points, but Arizona's playing really well lately. I'm riding the trend up and taking the 2.5 points. I'm taking Arizona.
I hate doing it, but give me UCLA.
Okay. And then the last game, Kansas, 2.5-point underdogs hosting Iowa State. Is not ranked, not much going on there. Kansas played great last couple of weeks. I don't know what's up with that, but whenever you see a weird line, I'm going Iowa State over Kansas.
I respect that, but I'll go Kansas.
And your lock of the week.
That's my lock of the week.
It's my intuition. Maybe that's why. All right, 56A against the spread, 56%. That's pretty darn good if you look online, look at all the so-called experts here on that. All right, South Alabama at Troy tonight, ESPN 6:30. Yes, we're watching that game.
I think you got Gut Breeze at West Florida Tech. I'll probably start off watching the South Alabama game and then head on out.
Oh, there's a high school game tonight?
Yes.
Who is it? The Gulf Breeze game?
I think it's Gut Breeze, West Florida Tech.
Oh, is it really? Gulf Breeze, Gulf Breeze, West Florida Tech, right.
And that's tonight at West Florida or the old Woodham Stadium.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's probably a 7 o'clock game.
Okay. Wake Forest at Duke on ESPN, kickoff 6:30. Arkansas at Florida, 11 o'clock on ESPN2. You never know who's going to win that game, Arkansas, Florida. They're two very evenly, let me say that again, very evenly matched average teams. Navy, go Navy midshipmen at Temple. I have no idea. I'm taking the midshipmen if I don't know. Auburn at Vandy. Auburn by a couple touchdowns. 3 o'clock on the SEC. It wraps up Local Sports Report.
All right.
Thanks, Hobbs. Appreciate you.
I enjoyed it.
All right, everybody, have a great sports weekend. Don't forget, stay tuned for these important messages. Without these great sponsors, it just wouldn't happen. Thanks for watching. Have a great sports night, everybody. Talk to you Saturday. Oh, stay tuned. Mark Merrow, replaying Mark Merrow, World Wrestling Champion, saver of hundreds of kids' lives. You don't want to miss Saturday's show with him, my favorite guest of all time. Talk to you later, everybody. So long.
There's a reason why Hill Kelly in Pensacola is the #1 selling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealer between Jacksonville and New Orleans. While other dealers have taken advantage of a competitive market with higher prices, Hill Kelly has discounted prices to the lowest of the year. And Hill Kelly in Pensacola won't surprise you with excessive charges beyond the selling price. Come see why people from Milton, Pace, Foley, Bay Minette, Daphne, Gulf Shores, Mobile, and beyond are driving to Hill Kelly in Pensacola to buy their next new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram. At Hill Kelly, the bottom line price and your satisfaction are what really matter. So before you sign, check the bottom line and make the trip to Hill Kelly in Pensacola to see what true local ownership can do for you. At Hill Kelly Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Highway 29 in Car City, Pensacola. Or shop online 24/7 at hillkellydodge.com. When it comes to bottom line pricing, nobody beats a Hill Kelly deal. Nobody.
My name is Steve Reynolds. I'm the manager and owner of Cordova Lanes, and we help keep your mind out of the gutter. Cordova Lanes is part of the community of Pensacola. Being here for 43 years, we've entertained more people than any other bowling center in the city. We sell fun for a living. Cordova Lanes is located at 2111 Airport Boulevard in Pensacola, behind Cordova Mall. Come on out and see us at Cordova Lanes Bowling Center. Thank you.
Hey, Bill, some game, huh?
I haven't really noticed, Paul.
What? The biggest game of the year?
I've been looking over my insurance. Talk about problems I'm trying to figure out.
Well, do what I did. Call the Seiler Agency. They showed me what I needed and what I didn't. They even saved me money. Now, instead of worrying about my insurance, I can worry about the big game.
Contact the Seiler Agency at 476-7443 for all of your insurance needs. Your independent agent for home, auto, boat, RV, commercial, general liability, life, and sound investment strategies. Call 476-7443 today.
Are you riding around in a filthy vehicle? Dirty car no more. Visit Ronnie's Car Wash today to get it shining in no time. They have 3 convenient locations with another coming soon. The unlimited monthly wash packages start as low as $14.95 per month with free vacuums, multi-purpose spray and towels. Visit them in Gulf Breeze, Navarre, Fort Walton, and soon Crestview. Don't wait, wash today. Be sure to see Ronnie's Car Wash on Facebook to see the latest specials and discounts. You'll be riding and shining in no time.
Hey, Bama fans, this is Will Moore, president of the Pensacola Bama Club. You can find us at PensacolaBamaClub.com. We are your official alumni chapter in the Pensacola and surrounding areas. Membership is available to all alumni and all Bama fans, so come see us at one of our many events throughout the year. Our Bama football watch parties are the next best thing to being in Bryant-Denny Stadium. We even serve authentic stadium hot dogs. Membership, event, and contact information will be found on our website at PensacolaBamaClub.com. Roll Tide.
Arbitrium Consulting for all your fencing, landscaping, pressure washing, tree trimming needs. Call 850-483-0350 for your free estimates. Serving Pensacola, Gulf Breeze, Navarre, Fort Walton, Destin, Perdido, Gulf Shores, Foley, and the entire Gulf Coast. Arbitrium Consulting is owner-operated, fully licensed and insured. Call today, 850-483-0350, the official landscaper of Coach's Corner.